Hi, this is Troy Eckard. I'm the CEO and manager of Eckard Land and Acquisition, and I'd like to talk to you about the process by which we as a team go after, seek, and acquire mineral rights on behalf of our own company and those of our private partners. Now, without getting into the secret sauce and the really deep details of what we do, because that is proprietary, what we do want to do is talk about the things that are important to us as we start to look for minerals that we believe are adequate, successful, low risk, and very valuable assets that we can acquire in today's market. Now, I'll sit here at this desk many times and I'll be thinking about what's going on in the marketplace. And for me, I'm always focused on the one thing that I think most people are not. What is the economic driver that causes a lessee, the person who's leased the minerals that I own or I want to buy, to continue to develop the minerals that I've leased them and that I've already acquired and I own in my own account? In other words, if I don't know what is going to take place and I don't know what the economic incentives are to develop the minerals I own or that I want to buy, then I'm pretty much taking a shot in the dark. When I look at other mineral companies that try to recruit investors, or I look at other mineral companies that are publicly traded, many times I'm really confused because it looks like it's kind of the grab bag mentality. They take a bag, they shake it around, they say, you know, for $10,000 you can pull a mineral acre out of the bag and you have a mineral acre inside the Anadarko Basin in Oklahoma. So you're in the scoop, you're in the stack, you're in the middle of the play, and all is good. Well, that'd be like me telling you, let me just reach into the stock market and I'll just have you pull out a stock and you put $10,000 into it and it should all do well because we're all doing an index across the Dow. That is a fool's game, and that's not how we do business. What we do is we take literally 35 plus years. I'm talking since 1985 when I started as a kid in this business. And we take every lesson, every experience, every well we drilled, every mile of seismic we've acquired, every water well we've owned, every pipeline we've owned. We look at every component of what we've been involved in as a company, and I've been involved in as a career oil and gas expert. And I say to myself, in today's market, what minerals can I buy that have 3 or 4 components? So this is the selection process. The first and foremost thing that is important to me is I'm looking at the jockey that rides the horse. That would be the tenant, the lessee who leases the minerals. So let's say I want to buy some minerals and I know they're already leased. So whoever owned it before me has already chosen who the jockey is. So I'm going to look at that jockey, I'm going to look at that oil company, and I'm going to make a determination. Is that company a successful company? Does that company have broad expertise? Are they involved in Oklahoma, Texas, North Dakota, Louisiana, Wyoming? Do they have broad expertise which can be assembled and accumulated at a corporate headquarters that says, out of all of our experiences, this is the best practices? So I need a really knowledgeable jockey. I need a jockey who's really financially well-heeled. I need somebody who's got a lot of money, access to money, and has proven they can withstand the ups and downs of the oil and gas industry. Because I don't want my property or my mineral leases tied up with somebody who can't drill more wells, or if they decide to drill, they're going to do it poor boy style. They're going to go out and just cut corners just to get it done. The next thing I want is I want what I would call professional expertise. I want a company who has enough talent, enough leading edge technology applications. Somebody who's embraced the changes taking place in the industry says, you know what, there's a better way to do it and we're going to try it. Because at the end of the day, the reason why the oil and gas industry is doing so well is because every single well that's being drilled, even today, every well being drilled is being drilled with the next best process, the next best system. And so for me, when I look at it, the jockey is critically important. The second thing is I need to know the economic driver. What makes that jockey good? What makes them want to go drill the wells on the minerals I own? And then what assurance do I have? Now, let's get a little deeper. So what is it about a mineral acre? If I had 10 mineral acres, 10 different areas, 1 acre each, what makes me choose 1 acre over another? Well, let's assume they're all owned by the same jockey. Let's assume they're all in the same general area. Now, there's certain variables that may make me change my mind in whether I either want to buy it, or if I want to buy it, I want to offer a much lower price. First off, price is critical. If I pay more for that mineral acre than the reserves or the current drilling or production activity suggest, I might buy the most beautiful thoroughbred in the barn who can't run a mile because he has asthma. So therefore I have a beautiful horse who can't get across the finish line. I can't overpay for my minerals because I need time, production, and a return on my investment worth the risk. So price has got to be a critical element of what I'm willing to buy if I assume all 10 mineral opportunities are available with the same jockey. What's part of that price is the terms by which the lease was created. If the previous lessor had leased those minerals and they were not very savvy, and they leased their minerals at a 12.5% or what they call a 1/8 royalty, every time they gave away 1% of royalty and they let the oil company have it, they probably gave away what could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars in future value, because they're giving away the reserves, their right to the reserves in the ground. I would much rather have the highest royalty I can get. So if I take all 10 across the board, same operator, same jockey, but 4 of them had an 1/8 royalty, 4 of them had a 3/16 royalty, which is 18.75%, and the last 2 had a 25% royalty. I might pay $6,000 an acre, $8,000 an acre, $12,000 an acre. Why? Because when I pay $12,000 an acre for those 2 acres that have a 25% or quarter royalty, I actually get 20% more of the reserves and cash flow. It's worth me buying it because I believe the future value is much greater. So it's jockey, it's economic drivers, it's specifics regarding the terms of the lease. The other thing to keep in mind, some of these lessees didn't know any better. When they signed their lease document, the oil company, who's smart, said, not only are we going to give you that 1/8 royalty, we're going to charge you as the mineral owner for your share of transportation costs, which should never happen. But they don't know any better. They're just excited that somebody's finally going to drill a well. Now let's go into what I would call more geotechnical reasoning. Geotechnically, we rely on areas that we believe have more than one zone. We want to see where the depositional environment had multiple zones of opportunity. So as the oil company goes in and decides, do I drill over here or drill over here? We know they're going to drill in the area that has the most formation stacked. So as they begin to drill, they can book on their balance sheet the highest number of reserves, which gives them a greater borrowing base, which increases the size of their equity and their value. I want to follow that thought process by knowing where we know in the basin, in the area that we're buying minerals, where there's the most stacked pay and the most reserves to be had. In addition to that stacked pay, we want to know where the formations are thicker. So in some areas, the Woodford zone in Oklahoma are 100 feet thick. Some are 500 foot thick. The reason that's important is there's a lot more oil and gas molecules that can be compressed in 500 feet of pay than 100 feet of pay. I might have 5 times as much reserves. So from a specific why we buy minerals where we do, it really boils down to the jockey, the economic drivers of that jockey, what's making them to drill wells. It involves the capability and possibility we have multiple stack zones, and then we have zones in areas where the formation is thicker because the thicker the zone, the more reserves. In wrapping it up, I want to remind you, as the CEO and manager of Eckard Land and Acquisition, there is probably another 50 specific variables within our parameters of mineral acquisitions that we use to make our decision, but I want to tell you what makes it so special. This company, Eckard Land and Acquisition, our team, our technical experts, we go find the very best minerals, and then we do something nobody else does that calls you. We buy them with our own money. We buy with our money, my money, our company's money. We buy the minerals we think are the absolute top of the line because we believe so much that we're right that we take full risk. We then only invite you to participate with us because, quite frankly, we want to know that you're getting the very best that we have to offer. I'm Troy Eckard. I'm the CEO and manager of Eckard Land and Acquisition. I'll be talking more on this subject in later videos, but I wanted to offer this today to tell you kind of the very high-level way that we migrate down to the top minerals that you and I will actually own. Thank you so much.